Alright, we're ready for step 2. I had a very refreshing little nap, and while I was taking my nap, I lost more of my voice for some reason, and our dough doubled. It's now up to about right here, which is where we needed it. So, and it's very jiggly, so look for the jiggle. Alright, so next step is we have to add in 4 more cups of flour. That's all the flour that we're going to need. And it says to add it in gradually. The reason why you want to gradually add it is because we're going to be kneading it as we add it. I've got just a little bit more than 4 cups of flour in my little bowl here, and I'm going to show you why. I learned this trick the very first time, and I'm going to share it with you if you've never made bread before. This stuff in here is evil. It sticks to you. It sticks to everything. So, before we get started, we're going to remove our rings. Otherwise, you may actually lose them in your dough. Not really good to pull a loaf of bread out of the oven and chew down on somebody's wedding ring. It's just not proper. So, the other reason why I have extra dough is because I consider making bread a sport. And like when you're playing tennis or you're playing baseball or volleyball or anything like that, you see people sit there, at golf. My dad plays golf, so he knows this one. They sit there and they get this stuff and they rub it on their hands. It helps you get a better grip. I've tried to rub it on my hands when I'm dealing with the kids, and maybe I can get a better grip on mothering, but that hasn't worked, and it just leaves little dusty handprints everywhere. So we're ready. We're going to gradually add a little bit in here. And when you put it in there, you're going to notice that it makes your dough go down a little bit. So that's part of that jiggly poofiness I was telling you about. And we're going to start kneading it in there. And it's just that's fun to work with. See where I was talking about your ring getting lost? If you're doing this with me right now, you've just noticed that you're stuck. And your flour's up in your face. All right, so we got some in there. We'll get a little bit more in here. And we're going to knead this until it's smooth. Now the easiest way I found to knead it, and it may not be correct, and there's probably going to be somewhere on my comment section where somebody is like an expert bread maker who is going to chastise me for the way I do this, but I grab it from the bottom and just start folding it over, covering all that loose flour up a little bit. And, okay, I'm sorry, I had to. And it's stuck to me. Alright, we're going to go ahead and put the rest of this in here. I think that's gradual enough. Okay. So, that's all of it in there. Now we're going to sit here and knead this until it's smooth. It really doesn't take that long to do, as long as you're willing to get in there and just become very friendly with your dough. Don't be shy of it, just sit there and get in there. And like I said, I'm sorry I can't do more takes of this, and you have to deal with my late night goofiness. My husband gets on to me sometimes for being goofy on my vlogs, but it comes out and I can't control myself. There's probably a medication for it, but I haven't found it yet. So you just have to love me anyways. But, you know, in loving me, you need me. Sorry. I'm sorry. Honey, if you're watching this, I'm sorry it slipped out. Alright, it's starting to get smooth now. Now, once it's all smooth and it's all mixed in there together, you probably aren't going to get every little single fleck of flour actually mixed in there. And, you know, I kind of think that's okay. This is going to end up making 3 loaves of bread, in which one of them I'm probably going to consume most of tonight when it comes out of the oven, because I cannot help myself. And the other 2 I'm going to take Saturday to my parents' house, where my sister will be, my twin sister. It is our birthday, so, you know, I expect some comments saying happy birthday. I'm not going to tell you how old I'm going to be, because that's depressing at this point. It's like beyond middle-aged. And I've got the gray hair to prove it, and the crow's feet. Speaking of crow's feet, I don't know if you saw my review late, it was a couple months ago, for Labrie. skincare stuff, they have some of the most awesome eye serum, I don't know. Depends on, I guess, what part of the country or how you say that. I'm from the South, so we say serum that you put on your eyes, and it's made with aloe vera. Doesn't have any nasty chemicals in there, and boy, that stuff is good. So, Miss Debbie, if you are watching this, I know you called the other day, so I need you to call me back because I need some serum for my eyes because I'm getting old. My birthday, I'm realizing how old I'm getting. Okay. Whew. By this time, you're probably exhausted, but it's now smooth and it's not quite as sticky. So our next step that we're going to do is we're going to cover it with a damp cloth. I probably should have Googled why, but I guess it's something about there's still some activating yeast in there, and the damp cloth, it kind of takes, it's still kind of warm, and the damp cloth is going to cause some kind of humidity going, and so we're going to have rising yeast, which is kind of disgusting, but hey, it's what it takes to have bread. It's going to rise up and get even bigger than it was. Alright, so, you know, it's supposed to be smooth, and the first couple of times I've done this, it doesn't look real smooth. I don't know if you can see it. It kind of has some lumps and clumps in there, but overall the general texture of the bread is very smooth. It is mixed together, so if yours doesn't look perfect, and I don't know what perfect looks like, but if it looks like this, it's okay. It's gonna work. So now that we got all that done, I'm gonna kind of squish it just a little bit, and I got my damp cloth here. It's not real pretty, but it works. I'm going to cover it up, and I'm just going to set it back here, and we're going to forget about it for a little while. So that is all for this time. The next thing we're going to be doing is dividing our dough and putting it into our loaf pans. So go ahead and get your loaf pans out, get those little suckers greased up, and turn your oven on 350. Let it be preheating. I don't really remember how long this takes, but I'm thinking about 30-45 more minutes. So I think I'm going to go have another nap, and maybe I'll find my voice while I'm sleeping. So that's all for now. Let me find the stop button, get the dough off my hand so I don't get it all over the camera thing here. Alright, I'll see you back here in about 30-45 minutes.